Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at a game that seeks to pay homage to Treasure's classic, Gunstar Heroes. This is Gunner's Heaven for the Sony PlayStation, which was developed by MediaVision and published by Sony Computer Entertainment in 1995. It's also known as Rapid Reload in PAL regions, and unfortunately it was never released in North America. Its plot centers around two treasure hunters named Axel Sonics and Ruka Hetfield, who are attempting to track down a powerful and mysterious gem known as the Valkyrie, but standing in their way is a terrorist organization known as the Pumpkinheads, who want to use the stone in their bid for world domination. Treasure hunters must become heroes, and everything must get blown up real good. Knowing that this game is more or less meant to be an homage to Gunstar Heroes, you pretty much know exactly what you're going to be getting with the gameplay. It's a straightforward run-and-gun action title. You can choose between Axel and Ruka, and both of them have 4 different weapons available to them, including a standard machine gun, spread shot, homing shots, and flamethrowers, as well as a limited supply of screen-clearing super bombs. Each weapon has a different area of effect and does different levels of damage, making them more or less useful in different situations. As you defeat enemies, they leave behind items that increase your weapon's strength when collected, but the power meter is always decreasing, so it behooves you to kill as many enemies as possible, as quickly as possible, to keep your power level up. You can also occasionally pick up an item that drastically increases your power for a brief period, and that's the perfect time to destroy everything in sight and grab as many power-ups as possible. There's also a bit of platforming to be done, which is aided by a grappling hook that can latch onto walls and ledges, but for the most part you'll just be running right and shooting everything that moves. Gunner's Heaven features 6 stages that present quite the challenge, and each stage has at least 1 sub-boss and 1 stage boss, each of which demands a great deal of pattern recognition. Overall, this is a very fun game with some insanely frantic and fast gameplay, and I like it a lot, but, and this is a big but, despite the fact that there are 2 playable characters, there is no co-op gameplay in Gunner's Heaven, which is a bummer, as that's always a big selling point of any arcade-style run-and-gun. But despite that fact, I still say this is a great game, even though it's lacking that key feature. The graphics and sound in Gunner's Heaven are also really good, and I'm guessing the visual style is why this game didn't get a US release, as it's 100% 2D sprites, which wasn't something that Sony of America wanted to push at the time. Still, I think it's a great looking game with some nice character designs, colorful and detailed stages, lots of giant robots and other kinds of machinery, and of course tons of explosions. There's always a lot of activity on screen at any one given time, and this is definitely a game that is never visually boring. It'll have your eyes glued to the screen from start to finish. The sound design is also very enjoyable. The soundtrack features some high-energy music to match the gameplay and visuals, and it sounds really good. Even though none of the songs are all that memorable, they still do their job well. The sound effects are fantastic, lots of great weapon sounds, and again, some outstanding explosions. There's also quite a lot of voiceovers in the Japanese version, at least, though I can't speak for the PAL version as I've never played it, but the Japanese voice work is pretty good. On the whole, aside from the lack of multiplayer, there's really not much to complain about with Gunner's Heaven. The graphics and visual design are great, as is the sound design, and the gameplay is extremely fun, challenging, and addictive. It's almost everything you want from a classic run-and-gun style game. So this is a game that I like a lot, and I can recommend to fans of classic run-and-gun style games like Contra, Metal Slug, and especially Gunstar Heroes. If you liked any of those, I can't imagine you wouldn't like this one. It can be a tad expensive online in the range of $30 to $60, but it's far less than its European counterpart, which goes for as much as $200. So this is one that I'd say is definitely worth importing. If you like your run and guns, you like things blowing up real good, then you're gonna like Gunner's Heaven. It's awesome.